I think Christian filmmakers should do whatever they want. I think they should do what's in their heart, and obviously should bounce everything off the Word and bounce everything off of their personal relationship with Christ. But the question of whether Christian filmmakers should focus on making films about God or of a religious nature, I think that's like telling an artist that they can only paint in blue. I think everything relates to God. I don't subscribe to the notion that all paths lead to the divine, but I do subscribe to the notion that all paths can lead to Christ, which does lead to God. And so I think as long as a Christian filmmaker understands that, I mean, there's a lot of things that Christian films could do that aren't doing. There's a lot of areas that Christian films could reach that aren't reaching. I think because we sort of have this idea that it has to be obvious, it has to be explicitly showing Christ. And I've always thought that a film isn't going to change someone. It's going to push them in one direction or another. But 9 times out of 10, I think Christian films have not pushed non-Christians in the right direction. They've pushed them away because the film is trying to act as a sermon, which is really the job of a pastor. And I don't consider myself or any filmmaker a pastor. We're not pastors. We don't have that authority. We don't have that calling. We're storytellers. We're craftsmen. We're no different than any other artist. And so there is a distinction there. And I think our job is just to do the best that we can with what we have. And I'm certainly not coming down on those who do have a more obvious approach. Again, I think you just have to go with what the Spirit is leading you to do, but truly being open to what the Spirit is moving you to. I don't think you can just straight up dictate what anyone is supposed to say, do, or think. And I think, that's the risky part, but that's kind of how God set up the church, was to be risky. Because you're going to have clashes, you're going to have differences in opinions, and it's how do you work with those. I wouldn't say that a Christian has to be subtle. I wouldn't say that a Christian has to be obvious. It's kind of whatever God is doing with that person. Some people are trumpets, some people are flutes, and you just figure out what you are.